I'm Nate Hogan. We're back with another video today. We're talking about goal cards and how they will change your life. I'm sure you've heard about goal cards. You know, it's in most self-help books. They talk about how you can write a goal card and this can help reprogram your mind. And so I'm going to dissect it and I'm going to talk about, how you should write it and what it does to your mind. Why does it work, right? Why does this help you? Because I think that understanding why things work and why things do what they do will allow you to actually follow it and you'll actually stay consistent with it because you'll understand that, okay, yeah, this does actually work. Like they're not just making stuff up. Like this is facts. That's my biggest thing. This isn't philosophy. This is facts. That's kind of what I like to teach. That the stuff I'm teaching, this isn't my opinion. These are facts. This is the way it works. This is the way the mind works. You just probably have never heard of it. It's not talked about in school, so it may sound, it might sound funky or funny or weird, but this is the way it works. And so I'm just here to help you elevate your life in all areas. So if if you have a business or you're just trying to grow as a person, these ideas will help you. So let's get right into this one. So first things first, what is a goal card? A goal card is a card that you will handwrite, right? It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be fancy right now. I lost my nice one, so this is just literally a piece of paper, nothing fancy. And you want to write it in present tense. You do not want to write it as something you're going to get, right? Like, I'm going to do this, because then you are telling your mind that you don't have it, which is never something you want to do if it's something good. So you want to keep this in your pocket. You want to write it in the present tense. Your objective is to read this card as often as possible, but the most important times to watch this to read this are right when you wake up and right before you go to sleep, because this is when when you first thing when you wake up, you're still kind of tired, you're half asleep, your subconscious mind is wide open. So when you're putting this in there, you're planting those seeds, you're planting them extra deep in the soil. So make sure to do that, and then right before you go to sleep, because then you'll be probably thinking about it as you drift off to sleep, and then you'll be thinking about it all night long. So you'll have hours and hours of thinking time where you are working towards your goal and you're not even having to do anything. So this is the simplest way to begin with reprogramming your mind. It sounds funny. For the longest time, I read Think and Grow Rich like over a year ago, and I never did it. I never actually took action on it because my old habits were holding me back. But I was like, you know what? I don't care how stupid this seems. I don't care how funny this may be. I don't care if people will laugh at me. I do not care. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to become a new person. So I'm going to listen to the people who know what they're talking about, right? Because it's kind of like Bob Proctor always says, he's like, if your way is not working, try mine. And that kind of hit me because I was like, you know what? I'm not where I want to be, so I got to do something different, right? If you're not taking new actions, you're not going to get new results. So, so you want to write it in present tense, and you want to keep it in your pocket, because every time you put it in your pocket, you put your hand in your pocket, you're going to think about it. Even if you're not thinking that you're thinking about it, if you feel it, it's activating your senses, right? Your senses, which go right into your mind. So right when you touch it, bam, a signal is sent to your mind, and you're thinking about this goal all the time, every time you put your hand in your pocket. So all day long, you're going to be thinking about it. That's why this is so important, because it's such a simple thing to do. It doesn't take a lot of effort. And just like success, it's not supposed to be, who puts in the most effort. Like Napoleon Hill says, he says, perish the thought that hard work and honesty will bring riches, because that's just not how it works. It's all about your mind, because you can run all these new ads. You could try to, hire a bunch of people. But ultimately, if you see your business as, in the same spot as it is now, then it's never going to grow. Right? You have to grow from within, and then that will change the exterior. So I go more in depth in that on my other videos. I'm going to keep this more surface level just because it's goal cards. I want this to be more welcoming to people who, maybe don't know so much about the mindset stuff. But if you want more in-depth videos on, reprogramming your mind, law of attraction, all those types of, categories, check out my channel. I post a video every single day going over all these categories. But today we're keeping it more simple because I want to appeal to a large audience. I want to appeal to everyone. And I want you guys to just take action on this. Like, that's the one thing I can say. Just please do it. I don't care how silly it seems. I don't care how stupid it is. Just try it for a couple months and see what happens to your mind. It literally, all you have to do is write it on a piece of paper. It takes 30 seconds. And then you got to read it in the morning and at night. It takes 20 seconds. See how much it changes your life. Okay, so what should be on your goal card? This is where I messed up for the longest time, is I had like 10 goals on here, right? I'm talking about where I want to live. I'm talking about what car I want. I'm talking about how much I want to make. I'm talking about the relationships on it. I'm talking about all these different things. So when you put your hand in your pocket and you touch it, your mind doesn't know what to think, right? And then in the morning you wake up and read it and you're reading a whole freaking essay. How's that going to go for you? No, you want one idea. And so the biggest thing I can emphasize is try to come up with a goal that encompasses everything, right? So if you're trying to, upgrade your life and you're trying to move, you're trying to buy a new car, you're trying to get a new house, you're trying to get all these things, then make it like a money goal. Like, how much money will it take to live the life you want to live? Because if most likely money is the reason you're not doing what you want to be doing. So most likely a money goal will be the right goal for you. But figure out how much money you need to live the life you want to live, and then make that your reality. Like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I make, and then however much money you need to be making per month to live the life that you desire. And this will reprogram your mind. And these numbers that right now may seem huge, right? It may seem like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make that much money. I make that in a whole entire year. How am I going to make that in a month? But over time, the more you read it, the more you think about it, the more these numbers are like, you know what? Like it's literally just numbers on a screen. And then you'll realize like, oh, well, that's not that far. Like I said in my other video that I posted yesterday, everything's connected. Everything's on frequencies and everything's connected. So hitting the 100,000 a month that's up here and hitting this, it's not any more difficult. You just have to believe it. Your belief creates the fact. So I recommend you keep it to one goal. That is probably the biggest thing I could emphasize. It'll probably end up being a money goal, most likely, unless you don't want anything to do with like a new house, new apartment, new car, new income, anything. But most time it's one of those things. So, or multiple of those things. So a money goal would kind of encompass everything, and then you can really reprogram your mind to make that your new normal. Even though it's not physically in the physical world your normal, your mind will think it is. Because if you read a lie often enough, you will start to believe it. So if you're reading good lies, if you're telling yourself these things are going to help you grow, you're eventually going to believe it, and that'll really change your life. So let's see, for example, if you want a new house, new car, you want to probably stick with a financial goal. But, if you're in a point where you're like, you know what, I'm happy with where I live, I'm happy with what I make, I just want to be happier, then your goal can be, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am becoming happier and happier every single day. And you will become, like, it works for everything. This isn't just for money, but most people are trying to grow because money is usually what holds people back from living the life they want. So let's get into why this works, which I kind of already did. This video is going to be a little shorter because my other ones have been crazy long, and so I'm trying something new. But let's get into why this actually works. Believe, and your belief will create the fact. That's what William James said. It's true. Whatever you believe will come to fruition. That's why, all these different religions, all these different, I guess you would say religions that do these things or these miracles, and you're like, oh, well, if I believe this, how are they able to do miracles? It's the belief that creates the fact. So if you believe, like if you truly believe something will work, it will work, even if it that may not be the thing that works. Like your belief will create the fact. So you believing that gold cards will work, even if, I don't know, say scientifically, for whatever reason they didn't work, but if you believe that it's going to work and you believe that reading this every day, it's going to come, it's going to create a new reality for you, it will, because your belief creates the fact. So rereading this card often enough, you're practicing auto-suggestion. I have a whole video on that, I think. It's called Reprogramming Your Mind. And so I go over, what exactly auto-suggestion is. But this is the only known way to build faith in an idea, because most likely your goal, it needs to be huge, right? It needs to make you uncomfortable. If you're making $10,000 a month, don't make your goal to make $12,000. Make it $40,000 or $50,000. You want to make it, you want it to scare you, because this is going to force you to think thoughts that you've never thought before, which is what you want. If you're just making like a little tiny baby step, you're not really going to be thinking new thoughts, and you're not really going to grow. So you need to make these goals like really big, like a goal that makes you excited. You're like, wow, if I was living that life, like that would be crazy. That's what you want. That's the goal you want. So the more often you read this card, regardless of how distant it may seem, you will start to believe it. Guys, the more you read it, the more you believe it. So you need to read the card. You need to write the card, figure out what you want to write it, and then instill this belief in you that this is going to work, right? Like you want to believe that it's going to, believe that your belief will create the fact, and it will create the fact. Like if you're reading this card and you're like, yeah, this is never going to do anything to me, this isn't going to change anything, then yeah, you're probably right, because you're obviously not getting like emotionally involved with it. So, you want to believe that this will work, and then you will start to believe what is written on the card, and that will create your reality. So you have to this is kind of what I was just saying. You have to get emotionally involved with it. Like you can't just read the word and not think anything of it and not like fantasize about it and then expect it to come to your reality. Like if you're just saying like, I'm so happy and grateful now, I make $10,000 a month. Do you really think that's going to change anything? No, you have to be like, I believe this. Like, I'm so happy and grateful. I make $10,000 a month from my phone, right? Whatever it is, whatever your goal is, you want to be like enthusiastic about it when you talk about it, because your enthusiasm will, that's how you're going to build this emotion behind it. So plainly repeating the words, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Repeating the words over and over will make it difficult to move into form. You have to feel yourself in possession of it and see yourself. So when you're reading this card, see the life you're going to be living. See yourself in possession of the money. See yourself in the new house. See yourself in the new car. See yourself being happy. Whatever it is, you have to see yourself in possession of that, because then you're holding that image in your mind, which will allow it to move into form. Holding the image in your mind is what will move you to that frequency. So if you're reading this card and you're seeing yourself living that life, you're now on that frequency. So you're going to attract anything you need to attract to get there. And so the more you're able to hold this image in your mind, the more you're able to live in that state, the quicker it will come your reality. So I wanted to emphasize this is page 82 of Think and Grow Rich. I mean, all the different versions, it might be different, but this is really important. So it says, the mere reading of words is of no consequence unless you mix emotion or feeling with your words, right? So just reading the words will not do anything. You have to be emotional about it. You have to be enthusiastic about it, right? The best thing you can do is just be enthusiastic. Be like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I make $100,000 a month from my phone, right? Be like hyped about it, like it's real, because it is real in the spiritual world, and it will come to the physical world. So, and then he said, if you repeat a million times the famous quote, day by day in every way, I'm getting better and better. But you're like, day by day in every way, I'm getting better and better. You're not tricking anybody, right? So you're ultimately tricking your mind into believing that this is your current fact. So in order to do that, you have to like actually make it seem like you believe it. I mean, you may not believe it right when you first write the goal down. You might be like, yeah, this is crazy. I don't make this much money, right? You're probably going to be like that, but you still need to be enthusiastic about it and just try to, like, you basically have to be an actor, and then you will become that person, whoever you're acting to be, pretending to be. So without mixing emotion and faith, with your words, you will not get results. Repeat that. Without mixing emotion and faith with your words, you will experience no desirable results. So emotion and faith are basically what are painting the picture. If you're just saying the words like very blah, whatever, it might make it into your subconscious mind just because you're repeating it so much, but it's not going to be a painted picture. But if you're like really getting emotional, like enthusiastic about it, and you have faith it's coming, you're painting that picture in such perfect colors, it's going to come to your life so fast. And so your subconscious mind recognizes and acts upon only thoughts which have been well mixed with emotion and feeling. I know this is said like 10 times in the same sentence, or in the same paragraph. So maybe you'll catch on to how important it is to mix emotion or feeling with it. Because if not, you're basically wasting your time. Okay, it's like if you're reading something and you're like, I don't believe this, right? And you keep reading it, you're like, this is crap, I don't believe this. You're not really gonna that's not gonna resonate with you. None of that information is gonna stick with you, because you're rejecting it. So you have to accept it. You have to like read it and be like, yeah, I do this. Like, I am making this much money. This is my reality. Because then your mind will be like, oh, whoa, this is your reality. Let's make that happen. And then it literally, like, bridge of incidences, you literally will almost wake up one morning and it's happened, because it'll happen so fast. And I'm not saying you're going to like just manifest some crazy amount of money overnight, but things will move really fast. Like, you'll be amazed. It's pretty crazy. And so your imagination and emotion are the most effective way to reach your subconscious mind. They're basically painting the picture of your mind to make it feel real. So like I said, if you want to impress your subconscious mind, you have to make it feel real. Your imaginations have to feel real. So you want to make it as real as possible. And so if you are making that much money that you're, whatever you wrote down, if it's $10,000 a month, you're going to feel certain emotions, right? So feel those emotions. Sit down and be like, okay, if I made this much money, how would I feel? You'd probably feel free. You'd probably feel relieved. You'd probably feel happy, right? You feel all these emotions. So feel those now. When you read the card, feel it. Make it feel real. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is imagined versus what actually happens. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is imagined versus what actually happens. So these things that you are playing in your mind, whatever it is, whatever you're thinking about, whatever situations you're replaying in your mind over and over and over and over, you're moving those into form, right? I made a whole video on this yesterday, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. But basically, your thoughts move into form in the physical world. So if you are holding a negative image, you're bringing that to this world. You may forget you ever thought the thought, but then eventually something happens. You're like, why does this happen to me? Well, you're the reason. So that is probably the most important thing I could ever even emphasize. That your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is imagined versus what actually happens. Like, that is crazy. So anything you're imagining, if you're imagining yourself making all this money, living this dream life, having the family you want to have, being happy, being fit, you're moving that into form. You're becoming that person every time you think about it. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. So the more often you think about your goal and feel yourself in possession of it, your mind thinks it is actually happening, because this puts you on that frequency, and then you attract what you have to attract for it to move into form. Yeah, that's the last slide. But yeah, so like this is huge. So basically, I know I kind of went more in depth as the slideshow went on, but just please, please write a goal card. It's the easiest thing you could do. I don't care if your goal card says to be a nicer person, and you read that every day. I guarantee you're going to be a nicer person. Okay? I guarantee it, because you're going to be thinking about how to be a nicer person. You're going to be a nice person. So just take the time to write a goal. I don't care how silly it seems, but I just please only write one goal, and please, please, please make it a big goal. Don't make it a goal that you're like, I don't really care. Like, make it a goal where you're like, holy smokes, if I do this, like, this is crazy. That will inspire you, and that will cause you to actually take action. So write a really big goal, like if it's your current income, multiply it by 5 or 10 times. Make it crazy. Make it seem unrealistic, because that is how you're going to get uncomfortable. That is how you're going to be thinking new thoughts and enter a new frequency and really change your life. So yeah, write one goal. Read it in the morning, read it at night, read it over and over throughout the day as much as you can. You come up to a stoplight, read it. Sitting on the toilet, read it. Whatever it is, read it all the time, because you are reprogramming your mind. You can take all the actions you want in the world, as in in your business, but if you're not fixing your mind, if you're not fixing the problem within, your physical world's going to stay the same. So thank you guys for watching. Posting a new video every single day this month. This is like day 7 or 8 or something like that. So still like 23, 24 videos to come. If you have any requests, put it in the description below. I'm more than happy to make videos catered to your guys' needs. I'm trying to make these as broad as possible to appeal to as many people as possible. I want to help as many people as possible. That's my goal. So, and if you want one-on-one help, right, I provide information on here for free. The information is not what I'm going to charge for, because you can read all the books in the world. The information isn't the problem. We have AI. We have the internet. We have all the information at our fingertips. That's not what I'm charging for. I'm going to help you apply this stuff, right? Because your old habits are going to try to hold you back. They're going to try to keep you in your old situation, and you're going to, in a year from now, be like, dang, I'm in the same exact spot. So I'm basically here to help you, or almost force you, like, look, are you doing this? Are you keeping up with this? Here, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. So I can help you guys so you stay on top of it and you actually take action, because this stuff changes your life. Like, I'm not here to sell. Like, this isn't a course. I'm not on a course. This is coaching. I'm here to help you. Same as you would hire a fitness coach to help you get stronger. I'm here to coach you to build the muscles of your mind to literally create any life you want. You can hire a fitness coach. If your mind's not there, you're not going to get there, right? So it's like everything starts with the mind. I'm the coach of coaches right here. So DM me on Instagram if you're interested. We'll get you started. And new video tomorrow, so make sure to subscribe for more.